I believe I can fly. I believe Oh, did you think... Hey everybody, Oregon, Greg, and Dar here. And if this is your first time to our channel, welcome. And we're glad you could join us on our first flight over the beautiful Pacific Northwest. Yeah, this is your Captain Greg and Flight Attendant Dar. Today we're going to be flying over the beautiful Pacific Northwest state of Oregon. Hey, so howdy friends. Hey, we definitely have some cool points to show with you today. Our favorite things about the state of Oregon from above. We're going to kind of do a flyover view. Today we're going to look at the whole state in general. To kind of give you the topography, the weather patterns, where all the people live, the streets maybe. Yeah. So, below we see the entire map of the United States of America. First thing is first, Oregon is in the Pacific Northwest. And you can see it's roughly shaped like a kind of a square, right? Oregon it's a larger state nationally compared to the United States. It's just under 100,000 square miles. That makes us the 9th largest state in the United States. That said, we're only the 27th most populated state. So we're a big state, but we're kind of like average for population. That means there's tons of room. If you're coming from a place, you're looking for space, I think the stats tell you. Lots of land here. So other than the Portland Metro, Southwest Washington area, there's lots of open spaces in Oregon to explore and have fun. So it's truly one of the most diverse states in the United States for weather, topography, people, and we're going to show you some of that. Okay, so you see the state of Oregon, right? Kind of looks like a square, and I always picture roughly 6 vertical stripes. To the west, there is 362 gorgeous miles of coastland.
Nice.
With 28 amazing little quirky, fun, amazing coastal towns and villages. Is that our favorite vacation?
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh, let's go to the beach. Sand dunes. Dar and I have ridden the four-wheelers and the dune buggies down in Florence. There's 11 existing lighthouses, historical landmark lighthouses. Guess what? They're still in working order. People still live there and they like man them and make them go. So, okay, so that's the Oregon coast. That's kind of quadrant number 1 of the 6. Then you go in a little bit and you hit the Oregon coastal range, right? Yeah. And that's a cool place where not many people live. It's kind of what you have to get over to go from Portland up, and then down, and then you're at the beach. Super rainy up there. It's wet, like really dense forest up there. Some of the highest peaks along the coastal range go up to like 10,000 feet. So it's a big, significant mountain range that's part of Oregon's. That's the second strip in, right? But the big boys are the Cascade Mountain Range. You know, they start all the way in Washington State at Mount Rainier. Then you have Mount Adams, St. Helens, a little puffy puff people have heard about there. Then you come down a little more, you see Mount Jefferson, you got the Three Sisters, and then the crown jewel of winter sports is Mount Bachelor. So if we zoom in on Mount Bachelor, the main thing you see is it's covered in ski runs. I love that. And that's kind of because of the topography. It's not too tall. Mount Bachelor is a little flatter and a little more like perfectly conducive to skiing. So that's why that place is the mecca of ski. I think the weather is a little drier there, a little colder, so you know we always go up to Mount Hood and ski and we get rained on sometimes. No, it doesn't happen at Mount Bachelor. It's always crisp and perfect snow down there. Okay, so tucked in between the Coastal Mountain Range and the Cascade Mountain Range is kind of this beautiful protected place that we call the Willamette Valley.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites.
The Willamette Valley, because the Willamette River runs down north and south through the entire thing down the middle of Portland all the way down, and that's where they say everything grows. It's a very fertile plain. You see Seattle, Portland, Vancouver, Corvallis, Eugene, all of the cities are in the Willamette Valley, the main cities with the main population. Yes, it does rain, but most of the rain, not most, a lot of the rain is squeezed out in a sponge as it goes over the coastal mountains from the ocean, and that's a little drier as it comes down into the Willamette Valley. It gets squeezed out again in the Cascade Range, and then it's so dry on the other side of the Cascade Range. That brings us to maybe the next strip of the state of Oregon, which is the high desert.
East.
Yes, you cross over Mount Hood and you come down, and it is gorgeous and brown, and it feels like you're kind of in a whole nother like moon area where it reminds me a little bit of California. As we go down south, you can see one of the most amazing places in the state of Oregon. Kind of our crown jewel is Crater Lake. It's a place that everyone, it's kind of a mecca of a vacation. If you haven't been there, you're really not an Oregonian, right? So our kids go on the bus with their school and they go to Crater Lake. We've gone vacations there with friends, by ourselves, with our kids. It is, you see it, kind of a shockingly beautiful place where it's so unique that there isn't anything like that in the world. Yeah, and I was interested to see how it was formed. So at one time it was Mount Mazama, and Mount Mazama was a volcano that erupted, and what resulted was a half-mile deep, one of the deepest lakes in America. It's 1,200 feet deep, 33 miles around it.
Dang.
Yeah, and just the bluest, clearest water you can see. Amazing place. So, as you can see, to the north of the state of Oregon is Greg's favorite place in the entire state. Yeah, the coast is amazing. The mountain ranges are amazing. Cities amazing. I love the Columbia Gorge because it's the first time Dara and I drove in from the Midwest, and I was like, we hadn't seen the mountain yet. We hadn't seen the ocean yet, but the gorge just blew me away for hundreds of miles. You drive in on these windy roads coming in from the east, and it's not like we grew up in the Mississippi River, right? Big, beautiful river. This is the same size river, but cliffs down, and then these like shocking vistas. And in fact, you finally before you get to Portland, you hit Vista House. It is maybe one of the most high up places where they've actually made it a state spot where they put a house there. And so the way you can see from all the way to almost to the Pacific Ocean down to like Idaho, pretty amazing spot. Hey, so the Columbia River starts in the state of Washington, then it flows down into Oregon. It kind of becomes the state line. It flows all the way out to the Pacific Ocean. One of our favorite little towns there at Astoria is where it filters into the Pacific Ocean. There's a lot of places where it's like 1.5 miles wide. It's a humongous, amazing river. Cute little towns, little gorge towns like Umatilla, Boardman. Then you hit the Dalles, Hood River, one of our favorite brew pubs at the Frame Brewery, right? That's where the windsurfers. Columbia River continues past the waterfall hiking areas east of Portland. There's actually 77 waterfalls that you can hike to. We've only maybe hit about, what, 10 of them? We got some hiking to do, so yeah, we became parents. Cuts down on the hiking. But each of those waterfalls, because we have friends who hiked them, they're unique in their own way, and they send us pictures. They're like, you gotta go to this next waterfall. So each of those is its own place. That's why I love the Columbia River. It's just like it gives and gives and gives. And it continues past the adorable town of Troutdale, Oregon. That's where the Chinook boat launch is. We can put your boat right there on the Columbia River. You can water ski, fish for salmon, wakeboard. People just kind of treat it as a very slow-moving lake that goes past the whole city of Portland. So as you keep going, following the Columbia River to the west, you'll see amazing houseboat communities. And some have like a 3-car garage where they open up the garage, beep, and the boats are inside. And they go out on the Columbia River and they just spend their time out there. So, hey, then the mighty Columbia meanders past the Portland airport. When you're catching your flight, you look out. There's sailboats. You can see it. It's this amazing spot. And at this point, it basically turns into a big, wide, open, lakey amusement park. Again, boaters, fishers, jet skiers. We see they have sailboat regattas. It's a pretty amazing place. After it flows through the city of Portland and Vancouver, then it kind of heads north, jogs north through St. Helens. And then on out to, again, one of our most favorite coastal towns, Astoria. Actually, at that point, when it hits Astoria, the Columbia River, a massive river, hits the Pacific Ocean. And that's at a spot where it's a dangerous 3-mile wide jetty called the Columbia Bar. and it's nicknamed the Graveyard of the Pacific for how many boats and sailors over the last 200 years have lost their lives there. It's a churning, nasty place where you kind of have to know what you're doing. Only like the most experienced captains can make it out there. You have a big, powerful boat. So that's why we love the Columbia River Valley. It's interesting, it's unique, it's challenging, right? Along the Gorge Valley, pretty cool things. The mountain ranges are cool. Oregon coast, one of our favorites. The high desert, maybe the most overlooked cool place in Oregon. There's endless opportunities here. I guess as you're looking at the state map here, we're gonna give a hug to the state of Oregon. We love every part of it because it's so unique and it strips and its amazing topography. Hey, and if you want to find out more about the Portland Metro itself, click the little video below to get more information on some of the pros and cons that we love. We'd love to hear from you. In the meantime, thank you for hanging out with us on our flyover video. Hopefully we can show you an area in person soon that will put your family in the exact right street, in the exact right neighborhood and school district that will make you cozy and happy. So if you're even thinking about moving to the state of Oregon or Southwest Washington area, we ask you to contact us early. Earlier the better, so we can set up a plan for you and get you dialed in. We're gonna have a blast shopping for houses together. Dar and I, this is who we are. We're realtors of 25 years, 1,200 people we've helped get into the right house. We're parents of 3 with a golden retriever, and we live and we die for our clients. So we will negotiate the best deal for you, find you the exact right spot in the Portland Metro, show you all the cool places to go, maybe even have one of our amazing microbrews together.
Nice.
And make it fun. Until next time, Portland, Dar, and Greg saying thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good to see you. See you next time. Hey, so howdy friends. We definitely went a little country there. It's gonna take a couple.